live from Chalmette High School. SportsNola.com proudly brings to you prep basketball presented by First NBC. Tonight is a showdown. District 8-5A lead. Tonight, the Charging Bucks of Landry-Walker taking on the Owls of Chalmette. Good evening, everybody. I'm VK Jones. We appreciate you joining us tonight right here on SportsNola.com. And right here with me is my color analyst that's joining me tonight, Deshaun Denhams. Good evening to you. I'm glad you're here tonight. It should be a very, very good ball game between these two rivals, and really they played each other in the off district, but now it was the first time now they're in the same district together. Especially Landry-Walker, the two-time state champions. Now they're in District 8-5A. They're in the big boys now, and they're in a very, very tough district.
The crowd seems real energized and energetic to see this matchup, VK, so I'm looking forward for it to get started.
Oh, yeah, we're looking forward to get started for a very, very good game coming up tonight. Let's talk about Landry-Walker first. Landry-Walker comes in with a 10-7 record, 2-0 in the district, coming off of a 49-39 win against Helen Cox on Friday night. And it was a good victory, 17 points for Lamont Burzat, leading the way for the Charging Bucks. And they came up with a big win last Tuesday against Bonneville, 43-41, 26 by Burzat, including 14 in the second quarter. They look for him to do some big things and take some pressure off the man, Lamar Peters, that's going to Mississippi State.
What a way to step up, especially in the face of adversity when one of your star players is not having a good time. So good game by him.
Oh yeah, and then you look at Peters. Peters is very, very good. He can launch it from any and anywhere, averaging over 15, 16 points a game. And the thing about him, he can go to the goal, but I know he's trying to adjust more driving, being that facilitator more than a shooter, to try to adjust to the college game. And then for Burzat really has gotten better as a point guard. He has done tremendous at the point guard position.
Big man from Chalmette. I'm anxious to see how you match up against Landry-Walker in this star-studded talent core that they have.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Landry-Walker looking for a third straight win and trying to take the lead in the district. Let's talk about Chalmette. Chalmette is 18-5 on the season, one of their best starts since 1996. And this team has been doing well, 3-0 in the district, coming off a huge victory in overtime at Bonneville past Friday night, 72-67. And get this, Mitchell Robinson had 18 points but fouled out with 2 minutes left in overtime. And Calvin Lewis stepped up big with 19 points, helping Chalmette get the win. But you seen him in the Sugar Bowl tournament. I know you're impressed with Robinson, but do you look for more than anything else that the supporting cast has to step up besides Robinson?
Well, as always, we know who the stars are for Chalmette, so we need to have a bigger handheld from the guys off the bench, especially the guys that are playing around them. So I'm looking forward to see just how good that Butch Stockton get those guys involved in offense.
Hopefully that a lot more cats besides Calvin Lewis, and also the starters, like people like Jeremiah Sumler, who had a very good Sugar Bowl tournament, and also Carlton Campbell. They're going to be looking to step up big tonight and try to take some pressure off of the all-around 6'11" Mitchell Robinson, who is a transfer from the state of Florida. He was close to going to Landry-Walker, right, but his family was impressed of the Chalmette campus, the programs, and everything else, that it drove him to come to Chalmette High.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, early in the season, people thought that he was heading over to Landry-Walker. Actually, in his junior year, wound up not doing so, and so he decided to stay here when his family relocated and settled in Chalmette. That supporting cast, Blake Coke is the only senior on the team, so I look for him to provide some leadership to these guys and further take this Chalmette team higher than they've ever been.
This game will be starting off in the next 10 minutes, and both of these coaches, I tell you, man, looking at the coaching matchup, and there's been some legendary coaches and great coaches all through the district. You look at Glenn Dyer, a legend at Bonneville. You look at Brian Simmons, a state championship coach at West Jefferson. You look at Al Collins, a state championship coach over there as well. But also two great legendary coaches, Brian Gibson, a two-time state champion, winning over 80% 90% of his games in New Orleans. But also, you look at Chalmette, you look at Butch Stockton, who has been coaching for decades for St. Bernard High, who has over 600 wins in his career, and also his assistant, Al Gaucher, two-time state champion for Cohen High, who is an assistant. So this is an interesting coaching matchup right then and there between three legendary coaches indeed.
Butch Stockton made some stops at South Alabama and Lafayette High before settling down over at St. Bernard, where he made a big name for himself. And he took over this program in the later part of 05 and 06. He's done some great things with us. I'm looking forward to see the coaching matchup between the two coaches, between him and Gibson.
Oh, yeah, and you got to look at Stockton. Stockton, unbelievable what he has done at St. Bernard High. Now, coming down the road to his rival, but he told me before the game he did this because the community coming together and to try to be one community in one city right here in Chalmette. So let's take a time out. We'll be right back as we get ready for this big District 8-5A matchup. Landry-Walker and Chalmette right here in the parish tonight. You are watching SportsNola.com, Prep Basketball presented by First NBC. welcome back to Chalmette High School for SportsNola.com's prep basketball. Man, Helen Cox got him right there over at West Jeff tonight. The game is at Helen Cox. That is going to be an interesting ball game. Hopefully we'll give you scores later on that ball game. And Curtis is playing Archbishop Rummel tonight as well on the road. But let's talk about this district more than anything else. A big-time change in the district, Deshaun, that, you know, this is really the rare district that teams don't even play twice against each other at all. Maybe a few teams probably can go against each other twice, but everybody play each other once. How you feel about that?
I think it robs some of the fans of the home and home advantage, the home and away advantage. So I'm not truly a fan of it, but I mean it is what it is when it comes to that.
Oh yeah, you're right about that. Absolutely. And hey, that's what happens when you have a lot of teams in the district. You got to do it. You got to fix it some way, somehow, to equip any and anybody. And West Jeff is like probably one of the rare teams that's playing a team twice in Helen Cox, and also, you know, you very rarely you might have one team that's going to have one home and home. So that's pretty much how the district goes. But you look at the power rankings of both of these teams tonight, Deshaun. Both of these teams are within the top 16. You know, you look at this week's power rankings in 5A. Landry-Walker's at 10. Chalmette is at number 13. So that is really, really interesting, because if the season ends today, both teams host a playoff game.
Yeah, that's big for the long-term goals of both coaches. I'm pretty sure they have that in mind. But the good thing about it creates more of a jostling matchup between the two teams for the power ranking spot. You know, with two spots separating the two teams.
And you don't want to underestimate at all none of these teams going to playoffs. Both of them probably will make a deep run, especially Landry-Walker. You look at last year, they was a 10 seed last year, and they won the state championship. But at the same time, with the experience and a coach like Coach Brian Gibson, you know what I'm saying, they just don't see ranking. They see that we play the tough schedule, tough as anybody else, and we're ready to take on anybody.
BK, how many times are we going to underestimate Landry-Walker? I mean, how many times they have to consistently do it over and over again? I mean, they possibly can go for a 3-time state championship, even though they moved up.
Absolutely, you know, and it's amazing of the third year merger school that they have won 2 straight state championships and looking for a third, and especially for the tenure of Brian Gibson, who's been a legend in this city of New Orleans, and he's definitely going to go in the Hall of Fame, especially him, but especially Butch Stockton as well. You know, look for them in the Hall of Fame real soon. And we can't forget about Coach Gaucher as well. So 3 great potential Hall of Fame coaches that's going to be in here tonight, and the winner will have an upper hand not just in the district but in the power rankings as well. Natchitoches Central is the number 1 team in 5A power rankings. Right behind them is Scotlandville, and it's been amazing. Natchitoches Central still keep going despite Cameron Lord transferring to Landry-Walker.
Well, that speaks to the coaching of the head coach over at Natchitoches Central. So big kudos up to him and the guys that he got playing from. They buying into that system.
Absolutely. As both teams are standing, we're probably going to have the Chalmette band probably going to do the national anthem and then introduce tonight's starters for both teams. And this is a big game, very big crowd tonight at Chalmette High. If you know the thing about it, if you're not here right now, get here quickly. Seats, they got very few seats left in the gym right now. They're expecting an overflow crowd. Luckily, it kind of rained for a while. You know what I'm saying? If it didn't rain, it'd have been a different story, man. You know what I'm saying? But this is a big crowd, and this is a big year for Chalmette athletics, especially early in the year with the football in 2015 with the football team. You know, so before we talk a little more about Chalmette, let's we got the presentation colors coming in with the color guard of the Chalmette ROTC, and let's turn it over to the Chalmette marching band for tonight's national anthem.
the Chalmette Marching Band, who plays the accordion. So this is the first time we heard an accordion played in the national anthem. Amazing. Very talented over in Chalmette High. Talent everywhere.
That was amazing.
Oh, yeah, very much amazing. You know, it's like we mentioned, Chalmette has had an awesome year athletically. 2015 football team winning, sharing the district championship, tri-championship in District 8-5A, and also the basketball team off to a great start. And what's next? Baseball, track? Who knows? This is a big year for the St. Bernard School.
The athletic directors are pretty more proud than anyone.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This whole parish and everything else. As we introduce tonight's starters for both teams, we're going to start off with Landry-Walker. Number 1 is Lamar Peters. Number 2 is Lamont Burzat. Number 23, Brashawn Delpert. Number 22, Damari Garrison. And number 5, Keaton Thompson, the head coach for Landry-Walker, Ryan Gibson. And the starting lineups for the Chalmette Owls: number 1, number 1, number 3, Glenn Sean Amos, number 4, Blake Coker, number 23, Mitchell Robinson, and number 31, Jeremiah Sumler. The head coach for Chalmette is Butch Stockton, a big-time legend in St. Bernard Parish himself, over 600 victories in his career. And also assisting with him is Al Gaucher, a state championship coach from Cohen High School. So that is a very interesting coaching staff in itself right here in Chalmette. So as both teams being introduced at the starting lineup, keys to the game, Deshaun, for both teams.
I think we spoke on it earlier for Chalmette. Getting someone other involved than Cameron Lord, they're going to have to get a great effort from their supporting cast, and I think that'll be the key to neutralizing Landry-Walker's start for the team. And for Landry-Walker, I think finding a way for Lamar Peters to get comfortable and get into a shooting rhythm so a repeat what happened the other night doesn't take place again.
Oh yeah, and then you look at it more than anything else. I think, you give it to Mitchell Robinson early for Chalmette to get things going, but for Landry-Walker, you got to do all you can to get him out of the ball game. I think if they go with their running gun and try to go at Mitchell Robinson, that could be a key there. If they get Mitchell Robinson in foul trouble, it may be trouble for Chalmette. Like we mentioned, the supporting cast is going to have to come up big for the Owls tonight if they're going to knock out the 2-time defending state champions. As Chalmette is in the all-white with the maroon numbers, Landry-Walker is in the all-gold with the blue numbers and yellow trim. As we're about to get started in this ball game, District 8-5A lead on line. Here we go. And the tip goes out of bounds, and it'll be Landry-Walker's ball.
That was different, DK.
Oh, yeah. That was very, I tell you, Robinson, he got up very, very high right there.
Showed off his strength a little bit, knocking the ball out of bounds.
Showed off a lot of strength right there. As Peters taking it out for Landry-Walker, who's starting it off, gives it to Thompson inside, goes outside the Delpert, back out to Burzat. Burzat on the outside looking to drive, goes back out. Delpert, give it to Burzat. Burzat, jump shot, good. 2-0 Landry-Walker. Nice start for the Charging Bucks. And back up the court is Amos Coker, goes out to Amos. Amos looking to drive, back out, jump shot is good for Jeremiah Sumler, the lefty. Nice shot for Glenn Sean Amos.
Big shot.
5-2. Chalmette with the lead.
Big shot by the junior, BK. That was a big shot.
And here's Peters, launch a three. Good! Lamar Peters with a three-pointer. He gets on the board quick. And it is 5-5 tie ball game. And we got Amos who has it. Amos looking for the pick. Amos will drive, gets it back out, jump shot, Sumler, no good. Rebound, Burzat looking to go on a break. Burzat looking, and Burzat lays it up and in. Lamont Burzat. Nice start right there, and it's 7-5 Landry-Walker.
The pace is real fast right now. DK.
Very, very fast right now. Campbell has it, gets the pick by Robinson. Campbell driving, he gets knocked down and he's fouled.
I like it though, BK. I like the toughness.
Oh, yeah. And it's a foul on Lamar Peters, his first. Team's first. So, and here's Amos trying to get it in. Amos gets it to Sumler back out. And it gets it back to Campbell, who's going to set it up near the top of the key. Campbell going from the right, going to the left. Campbell looking good defense, and Garrison steps in and gets the steal. Garrison to the hole, no good, rebound tap, but here is Campbell coming down the court for Chalmette. Campbell looking around, gets the corner, 3-pointer for Chalmette, no good. By Coker, rebound and a layup in by Robinson. Mitchell Robinson gets Chalmette to tie the ball game with a layup. And it's a timeout.
Chalmette, I think, calls it.
Chalmette calls the timeout the first of the first half. Nice bucket right there.
Definitely.
By Robinson gets the rebound. I mean, he's showing his 7-foot body right there.
Hey, when you're 7 foot tall, that's what everyone expects of you. And he came with the goods that time.
Absolutely. Robinson, like I mentioned, Texas A&M is looking at him pretty hard. He's looking at him pretty hard, and maybe he'll go right over. Texas A&M off to a great start this year in college basketball. Billy Kennedy, a big-time connection in his state. He was the head coach of the Southeast Louisiana basketball team when they went to the NCAA tournament. So tied at 7 apiece between Landry-Walker and Chalmette. BK Jones and Deshaun Denham's with you. And here's Burzat, a UNO commit, gives it to Peters on the right side. Peters going to take a three. God! Lamar Peters. What a three-pointer. 6 points for Peters. And it's 10-7 Landry-Walker. And here's Amos. Amos on the top. On the left side, on the right side, I'm going to say, Amos gives it to Robinson, gets it back out to Campbell.
Good ball
to Sumner, back to Campbell. Campbell looking, gives it to Coker. Coker will take a three. God! For Blake Coker. And we are tied at 10.
What a way to play, BK. What a way to play.
I tell you, the Chalmette support cast stepping in. Here is Peters going behind the back, and he's fouled.
Soft foul.
Yep, and it'll be Coker with his first. Actually, correction, that's Campbell. Campbell will have his first, team's first. Coming in the game right now is number 11, Malik Laganya. He's coming in for Landry-Walker, a 6'3.5", two guard. He can play the three a little bit. And here's Peters on the left side. Peters gets the pick. Peters, three. Pointers for Lamar Peters, 9 points, 13-10, Landry-Walker.
We spoke about him getting in a rhythm. He's definitely in one.
Here's Campbell on the drive, and he misses, but he's going to the line. 2 shots coming up for Campbell, and the foul will be on Rashawn Delpert, his first, and it'll be the team's second. And 2 shots coming up for Campbell. First free throw coming up, Campbell, is good. Nice stroke right there by Campbell. Chalmette trying to cut into this lead here. Second free throw's good by Campbell.
Awesome job by Campbell, 5'8" junior.
And bringing it up is Burzat outside to Peters. He's going to take another three. Why not? 4 3-pointer points for Lamar Peters. He is on fire, ladies and gentlemen. 16-12 Landry-Walker. Campbell gets it out. Coker's going to take a three. Misses. Rebound, loose ball. And it'll be Landry-Walker ball.
BK, I'm a firm believer the building's on fire because Lamar Peters is lighting it up.
He's come to play tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And bringing it up is Burzat. Burzat. Looking, going to the left, gives it to Peters. Wide open three. God! 5 threes in the first quarter! Wow! 19-12, Landry-Walker. And here's Campbell bringing up the Chalmette. Goes inside to Robinson. He gets blocked, but jump ball. And it will be Chalmette ball. Good job by Delpert. Steps up in front of Robinson. And what a block right there.
Delpert, just a sophomore, still growing into his body. Big play there.
And it's 19-12. Landry-Walker, 3:36 left in the first quarter. Coker has it on the outside. Gets it out to Sumler. Sumler driving. Sumler lay it up. It's blocked by Gilbert again. Here comes Lagina. He gives it to Peters on the right side. Peters, far-away three. Oh, no, not too much right there. Rebound Chalmette. And here's Campbell. He tries to throw to Sumler, but it goes out of bounds. Landry-Walker ball.
If he had to put down my headset, he would have made that one.
I know. I know Peters be feeling. We seen him made a three near the top before.
He can shot that from the timeline.
Yeah. 19-12. Landry-Walker, 3:15 left in the first. Bring it up is Burzat. Burzat looking. Going near the top of the key. Going to the left side. Burzat is going to take a three. Got it! Lamar Burzat. And he's got 7. 22-12, 10-point lead for Landry-Walker.
The Charger Bucks are 6 for 7 behind the arc right now.
And here is Amos. Amos going to drive. Amos looking, gets it out, and it goes out of bounds. Landry-Walker basketball. 2:45 left. 10-point lead for Landry-Walker. They are on fire right now. It was a tight ball game. And so far, a 12-2 run for Landry-Walker in this first quarter.
Cool Stockton is not happy right now. He wasn't even willing to give the ball back.
Here's Burzat going to the right drive, and here is Thompson who missed the layup. Loose ball, and it's a jump ball, and it will stay Landry-Walker's possession. And coming into the game for Chalmette, number 12, Calvin Lewis. He came off the bench scoring 19 in the win against Bonneville last Friday night in overtime.
Down by 10, they're going to need him right now.
Burzat has it, gets it out to Peters. Peters pump fakes. Peters goes to the right. Peters three. But we have a whistle. And it is a moving pick.
You have to respect his range from out there.
And it's Brashawn Delpit's second foul. And he's going to have to go to the bench as Samaj Matthews enters the ball game. Number 13 for Landry-Walker. And Campbell brings it up. Sumler has it. Gets it out to Lewis. Lewis will take a three. No good, right off the rim. Rebound is Lagana, and he's fouled. And the foul will be on Lewis's first, and it'll be the team's fourth foul.
BK Chalmette's going to have to go back to playing that game and not get into a shooting matchup with Landry-Walker right now.
Absolutely. Actually, 2 team fouls on Chalmette. Bringing it up is Peters. Peters gets the pick. Peters crosses it over. Peters driving. Oh, Robinson who has it. And here's Campbell for Chalmette. Campbell drive. Campbell misses. He's going to the line. 2 shots coming up for Chalmette.
Small kid, but big heart, man. He went in there knowing those guys were trailing, and he put the ball up anyway and took the contact.
And the foul was on Devontae Jason, his first. 2 shots coming up for Campbell.
And Jason is one of the football players on his basketball team.
Nice free throwing in by Campbell. And Jason is, and LSU is looking at him right now. He's an LSU commit right now.
Correct.
And a rebound as Campbell missed the free throw. And here's Burzat bringing it up. Gets it outside. Lagana had it. Loose ball, and Thompson gets the possession. Lagana gets in on the drive. Gets it. Khalil Williams three. No good. Rebound by Thompson. Thompson, good pass. Matthews gets blocked by Robinson. And here comes Chalmette outside his Lewis three. No good. Rebound, Thompson.
Thompson getting it done on offense and
looking to drive. And a timeout. Landry-Walker. Brian Gibson is not happy. And I can see why he's not happy. He was like, you left your man behind. You left him behind.
So, what do you think about the pace of the game?
Oh, man, the pace is pretty good so far. But the pace is favoring Landry-Walker. They like to run and they like to shoot the ball. So far in the first quarter, 6 threes in the first quarter for the Charging Bucks as they're up 10, 22-13. And BK
Jones and Deshaun Dennis with you right here, Chalmette. Chalmette's going to have to bounce back very, very quickly because they can get behind very quick.
Chalmette can't afford to get into a long-distance shooting match with Landry-Walker. Right now, Lamar Peters is going berserk out there.
Yeah, he is going crazy so far for the Charging Bucks. Here's Berzak bringing it up. Berzak going to the left. He gives it to Williams. And he gives it to Jason, back out to Berzak. Berzak on the left side, under a minute left, 49 seconds left. 9-point lead for Landry-Walker. Williams gives it to Jason. Jason gets it out. Malik Laganya. Laganya on the left side looking, and they're going to take their time. As Laganya running the point right now for Landry-Walker. He gets it out to Thompson on the right side. Thompson holding it, 25 seconds left. Gives it to Jason, gives it back out to Williams. Williams setting it up on the right side. Williams gets it back out, gives it to Jason. Back to Williams with 14 seconds. 13, 12 seconds. Williams looking. Gets it out to Laganya. 9 seconds. 8, 7, 6. Laganya's got to drive. And here's Thompson. 4 seconds. Berzak has it. Berzak, 3. No good. And a rebound by Robinson. And that ends the first quarter. Your score. Landry-Walker, 22. Chalmette, 13. We're going to come back for a second quarter action. You are watching SportsNola.com. Prep Basketball presented by First NBC. Welcome back to Chalmette High School, 22-13. Landry-Walker with a 9-point lead as we start the second quarter of action. And Chalmette will start the possession. Campbell has it, bringing it up. He's at the top of the key right now. Campbell gives it to Robinson. Robinson back to Campbell. Campbell looking. Campbell going back to the right side near the top, and Campbell will drive. Campbell to the hole, gets the layup and in. Carlton Campbell with 5 points for the Owls, and it is 22-15 Landry-Walker.
You got to challenge that shot, BK.
Peters brings it up, gives it to Jason. Jason outside, Khalil Williams, and gets the cut. Good Jason ball with a nice ball movement and a tip in by Peters. Lamar Peters now with 17 points in the first half. And outside is Amos. Amos looking. Campbell waiting on the right side. Campbell looking for a pick. Campbell gets the pick. Campbell gets it out to Amos. Amos looking. Good defense by Landry-Walker. Gives it to Robinson. Amos will take the three. No good. Rebound by Jason and Landry-Walker. Here comes Peters. Gets it out to Williams. Back to Peters. Back to Williams. Williams with three. No good. And the rebound Robinson. And on the run is Sumler. Sumler takes it up and in with a layup. Good layup right there by Jeremiah Sumler. 4 points. And here's Peters. Good drive. And a good pump fake and a foul right there. As Devontae Jason will go to the line. And a foul is on Mitchell Robinson. And it will be his first personal. And it will be the team's third foul. So Devontae Jason will be shooting 2 free throws for Landry-Walker. First free throws tonight for the Charging Bucks as he missed the first.
Despite Lamar Peters' hot start, they're just ahead by a good 6-7 points.
Josh Williams in the game for Chalmette, number 2. Jason makes the second free throw. So now it is 25-17. And Campbell trying to go inside. Robinson and gets it on Jason in and a foul.
It counts.
Count the bucket. And it is Devontae Jason with the foul, and that will be his first. Actually, his second foul.
When you're 7 foot tall, it's hard for somebody to throw a bad entry pass.
Absolutely. Free throw is good by Robinson. Lead is cut to 5 and a steal. And here's Campbell. Campbell looking outside. Williams, jump shot, no good. Loose ball, and Landry-Walker has it down the court. Burzak gets it, chasing, gets blocked by Williams. Here comes Williams and Chalmette, and he's stumbling outside, and Williams gets a turnover. Here's Peters. Peters slows down 3. Good! 6 threes for Lamar Peters, and 20 points in the first half. 28-20, Landry-Walker. And here's Campbell going outside. Williams back out is Campbell. Campbell looking to drive. Campbell left side. Good defense in his block by Jason. Out of bounds to Chalmette. And coming in the game is number 11, Malik Laganya.
Chalmette point guard Campbell took a stumble there on that layup. Allowed Jason to get the big block.
Absolutely. 28-20, 5:41 left in the first half. Landry-Walker with the lead. Campbell has it. Campbell going to the right side. Campbell looking. Gets it out to Sumler. Back out to Williams on the left. Gives it to Campbell. Campbell looking for a pick. Campbell on the left side. And Coach Stockton trying to get his team set up. And here is Campbell. Campbell on the left side looking. Gets out to Sumler. Left side of the 3-point line, right side of the 3-point line, gets it back to Campbell. Trying to go inside to Robinson, but not down. And here is Peters. Peters driving. He tried to pass it and deflected out of bounds, and it will be actually it will be Landry-Walker ball.
Coach Stockton's finally slowing his offense down and getting them into a half-court set.
And they're going to have to go in a half-court set more than anything else to slow down this Landry-Walker team. Burzak taking it out and gives it to Thompson, back out to Burzak. Burzak on the left side. Under 5 minutes left in the first half. Here's Peters, another 3. No good. And a rebound, Josh Williams of Chalmette as he brings it up the floor. Williams gets the pick. And he gets it out to Summers. Actually, it's a Lewis. Lewis, number 12, looking. Gets it out to Robinson. And Robinson is really getting roughed up here in the first half. And timeout, Chalmette. 30-second timeout for Coach Stockton. And I gotta tell you, man, Landry-Walker has been playing some really good defense in the first half, especially on Robinson. Robinson, so far, only 5 points.
They're not showing any signs of being afraid of big man, 7 feet or not. They feel they have the athletes to keep up with them. And so far, they've been the better team on the defensive end.
Very much better right there. And join us tomorrow night on SportsNola.com. Catch live prep wrestling presented by First NBC Bank as the 4-time defending state champions, Brother Martin Crusaders, will take on the Holy Cross Tigers on senior night. Join Ken Trahan and Chad Ravenek for our coverage beginning at 6:15 right here on SportsNola.com. And Josh Williams bringing it in, 28-20. Landry-Walker with an 8-point lead. And here's Campbell. Campbell at the top of the key. He gives it out to Robinson. Robinson back to Campbell. Campbell on the left side. He's looking around. Gets the pick. Campbell still looking. Gets it out to Williams. He gets it back to Campbell. Back out to Williams. They just can't get a good shot right here. Gives it to Campbell once again, who resets it. 4:08 left. Gets it out to Lewis. Lewis trying to go inside. Gets it back out. Williams. He gets blocked by Peters. And here comes Lamar Peters. He's going to take a 3 of his own. No good. And there's a rebound. I think he should have took it up for the layup more than anything else. And here's Lewis for Chalmette. He goes inside Sumler. Back out Lewis. Lewis goes back to Sumler. Sumler back out to Lewis. Lewis tried to get the pick, and Peters is on him. Lewis on the drive. Lewis lays it up and in. Calvin Lewis with a nice layup right there. And now 28-22. Landry-Walker 6-point lead. Here's Laganya driving. Laganya's blocked by Robinson. Here comes Lewis and Chalmette. Lewis gets it down, gets it in. Sumler pump fakes. Sumler and a traveling call. And Coach Stockton not too happy with Sumler
Coach Gibson seems to be content with the shooting of Lamar Peters right now.
Oh, yeah, it looks like he's very content. But I really thought the last drive, the last possession right there, he should have just like maybe drove it in for layup. He did have a wide open layup. Here's Burzak on the lane, gets it in, misses. Here's Thompson with the rebound, back out. Burzak, extra pass to M3, no good. Rebound is Campbell. Here comes Campbell, he's running. Here's Chalmette, here's Williams. Williams reverse misses the left, but Campbell misses. Back to Anderson. I don't think that will not count.
Won't count.
It won't count at all. Ball was in the cylinder. Robinson was trying to get the putback, but ball was still in the cylinder. So good call by the officials. Landry-Walker ball. So Blake Coker returning for Chalmette. And also 23, Rashawn Dilpert returns for Landry-Walker. 2:51 left in the game. Yeah, he's got 2 fouls. So Landry-Walker's got to look out for that. Peters bringing it up for the charging Bucks. Peters driving to the left. Peters looking, goes in, good behind the back pass, jump shot, Dilpert, good! What a play by Dilpert from Peters.
Off the bench. Off the bench.
Off the bench indeed. And here's Campbell outside to Sumler. Sumler looking. Back out to Campbell, trying to look for Robinson. Gets it to Sumler once again. Sumler back out to Campbell going inside. They're packing it down. And good Sumler, pass. Shot no good. Rebound, loose ball. Landry-Walker ball. As they was trying to get a good shot right there.
Sumler fortunately didn't get over the back foul after that missed shot.
Absolutely.
Be careful.
And Peters bringing it up for Landry-Walker. Chalmette looking for answers here. 30-22, 2:07 left. Peters with the ball, but he's fouled right there. A reach in on number 12, Calvin Lewis. And there'll be his second foul and a 14th foul for Chalmette.
Peters missed the last few of his three-pointers, but can you really say he's in a shooting slump after starting the way he did?
Oh, no, not at all. Here's Peters bringing it up. Gets it outside. Burzak. Good pass. Lagania with the layup.
Big-time pass by Burzak.
32-22. Landry-Walker, 10-point lead. And bringing it up, and Campbell outside is Amos 3 off the rim. Rebound Peters. Here comes Landry-Walker. Good pass up ahead, but out of bounds. He was looking for Dilpert on the break. If Dilpert would have kept running, he probably would have got the pass. So 32-22, 1:35 left. 10-point lead for Landry-Walker. And Campbell bringing it up for the Owls. Gets it out to Coker. Coker right there to Lewis. Lewis on the right side, trying to go in. Good twist move, but he's going to be fouled. Foul will be on Malik Lagania, his first, and it'll be the team's 4th foul.
Can't stress enough
make it
that
16 fouls on Landry-Walker.
Half-court offense if they want to get back into this game.
You're absolutely right. Coming in the game is Damari Garrison, number 22, for the charging Bucks. Amos looking to get the ball in. Gets it out to Coker. Back out to Lewis. Lewis driving, lays it up and in. Calvin Lewis with a nice layup. 32-24. Landry-Walker 8-point lead with 1:03 left in the first half. Here's Peters. He'll take a 3. No good. Rebound, loose ball.
Over the back.
And there'll be an over-back foul call. And it will be on Damari Garrison, and that'll be his first, and it'll be the team's 7th, so it'll be 1-and-1 time for Chalmette.
This will be big for Chalmette because they have to make these free throws. These are the gimme shots. Every team has to make these.
Yes, absolutely. And here's Blake Coker for 1-and-1. First free throw is good. And Khalil Williams returns in the game for the charging Bucks. Second free throw coming up for Coker is good. Two big free throws right there for Coker, cutting the lead to 7.
7 points is really manageable for Chalmette.
Very, very manageable.
Especially with Lamar Peters not shooting as well as he did in the first quarter.
32-26 with 58 seconds left in the first half. And here is Burzak bringing it up the court on the left side. Birzat trying to go to the right. He gives it to Peters. Double team is coming, and Peters gets out of it. Peters looking and trying to run some clock down. And they're resetting everything. Peters on the right side as he's going to run clock, 34 seconds and counting in the first half. Lewis trying to play him close. And he gets the pick right there. And he goes to the left side this time. Peters and good job by Dilbert setting up the picks, trying to get Peters free and trying to run some clock. Peters with 11 seconds, 10, and he's going to have to go. 8 seconds. Peters, and he's fouled. And that's a small play by Lewis because he avoided Peters from going to the hole or taking a shot.
VK, that was an extremely smart play. There's on his part with a dangerous guy like Lamar Peters.
So now 3 fouls on Lewis. So 7 seconds left in the first half. 5 team fouls on Chalmette.
VK, who you going with for the last shot?
I would go with Peters on this one. They give it to Jason, gives it to Peters. 5 seconds left. And a foul right there on Sumler. And that will be Jeremiah Sumler's first. And they're trying to get Landry-Walker to the free throw line.
I wouldn't take my chance with Peters, especially risking my big man.
16 fouls now on Chalmette. 4.8 seconds left in the first half. Williams gets it in. He gets it to Peters. Peters with 3 seconds. 3-pointer. No good. There's still 1 second. And Birzat misses the shot at the buzzer. And that is the end of the first half. Your score, Landry-Walker 32, Chalmette 26. We'll come back with halftime. You are watching SportsNola.com Prep Basketball, presented by First NBC Bank.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Halftime, 32-26. Landry-Walker with a 6-point lead at the half. BK Jones, Deshaun Denhams with you for this game tonight. And join us tomorrow night, WHNO TV. There's Prep Recruiting Insider, a series focusing on the world of high school football recruiting. Jude Young, Renee Nato takes an in-depth look at the best prospects in our area, past, present, and future, on location at NOLA Motorsports in Avondale. It's PRI Wednesday at 6 on WHNO TV 20. That's tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, Spotlight School is the Jesuit Blue Jays. That's tomorrow night right here on WHNO TV, Channel 20, 6 p.m. PRI Prep, including the Prep Recruiting Insider. We're back with you, and so far in the first half, Lamar Peters leading the way over everybody right now. He's leading Landry-Walker 20 points and also 6 3-pointers. And also Lamar Bird's at 7 points for Landry-Walker. Chalmette, Colton Campbell has 5 points. Mitchell Robinson's being held to just 5 points. Amazing defense by Landry-Walker in the first half.
I can't believe it. Big hats off to Landry-Walker and what they're doing, the cumulative as a team. But Chalmette's going to have to get the big guy involved if they expect to have a chance. And I firmly believe the only reason that they're actually close as they are is just the wild shooting by Landry-Walker towards the end of the half.
Terrebonne is up on HL Bourgeois 17-12 after 1. And after 3 right now over at Rummel, Curtis is up on Archbishop Rummel 39-30 in a good one out there in Metairie.
Definitely.
So as we're about to get started with the second half, what does Chalmette have to do to step up to try to cut this lead away right here?
As I mentioned before, VK, they're going to have to slow down their offense and not get into a shooting matchup, but as will feed the big man. He's not getting too many touches tonight. He might have had 5 in the first quarter. That's not